There we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Friday stream. It is Friday, August 21st. I'm Daniel, and today we're doing a live coding Q&A for WooCommerce and WooCommerce subscriptions questions. So I tweeted out, and then if anybody has questions, that they can post them, and I'll try and answer them. And then I'm part of the WooCommerce community Slack, which has quite a few people in there always asking questions. So I'm going to sort of cherry pick some of the stuff out of that. It's a good source for a lot of questions that come from people trying to do stuff. So awesome. I'm a little hot, actually. They're turning that down a little bit so it's not in the red. Okay, recording and good. So let's see. So I have my stream notes that we can refer to as we're going along. Make that a little bit bigger. August 2020. Cool. So had a request to talk about a blog post that came out today about WooCommerce deprecating functions, and I have that blog post up here. Then one of the questions that came up in the chat in the Slack room earlier in the week was about finding a subscription ID from parent order, and it got me digging into the WooCommerce subscriptions REST API, which I hadn't used in a while. It's been quite a while since I messed with that, and so it was nice to sort of revive that knowledge and get it working locally and see what I could figure out. So the question was about querying the endpoint to get a related order, and I know how to do that. I know where it is in the database, but the challenge of doing that through the REST API was interesting. So we'll answer that one, and then anything else that comes in, we can figure out. Cool. So let's see. Let's start with the blog. So this just got published today. This is by Ron Rennick. So they're saying that they're going to be removing old deprecated functions, and they're saying that there's a bunch of functions that have been part of WooCommerce since 2.1. They've deprecated them, which means in PHP they've assigned a deprecated tag so you can use it, but it's going to throw a warning. Let's find the example that I used earlier in that earlier stream. So I have this GitHub issue actually in this repository. Okay, so there is a closed issue that I fixed with this plugin that I've been live building, and fixed deprecated add fee. So I used the method add fee on an order, and WooCommerce threw this is deprecated since 3.0. So that's pretty much what they're talking about here. This was deprecated prior to the WooCommerce 3.0 release, which it's been a while since 3.0 came out. So the deprecated function is over in WooCommerce, and it's assigned to the order. So that would be an includes class-wc-order. And let's see. It would be add fee. Am I getting this wrong? Let's see. Let me just search the code base. It'll be faster since. Okay, so there's another deprecated function. Let me see. Function add fee. Oh, it's in the cart? Cart add fee. I thought I was adding it to an order. Legacy order. Okay, here it is. So this class is abstract legacy order extends WC data. And so the actual current, gosh, this scrolling's rough. IDE issues. Yeah, the current WooCommerce order class extends abstract order. So, and then abstract order extends legacy order. So here we are in legacy order with a bunch of deprecated functions, including add fee. And then, so this is the WC deprecated function is what adds that notice, that warning to say, hey, this is deprecated as of 3.0. Use this other method in the future. So that's just an example of one. There's quite a few. And so what the blog post is saying is like, hey, so a lot of these functions have been here a while. I'm really interested to see when that was added. Curiosity, right? WooCommerce, it's where? Includes legacy abstract. Okay, so includes legacy abstract WC legacy order. Okay, so let's find add fee. So click on this guy and then blame. So this was added a long time ago because it got deprecated 4 years ago. So you're talking code that's been there for 4 years, since 2016. And it was probably there from the beginning. Like, let's look at some previous versions of it. Yeah, this was legacy order add class. That's actually not where I want to be. I want to see the other versions. View blame prior to this change. So that's not going to show what I want. So yeah, it was added in 2.7 4 years ago. So that's all the blog post is saying. Blog post is saying this is some old code. You can see the class dependency where here's the latest class that we're using, dependent on abstract, dependent on legacy. So if you're still using this 4-year-old code, your debug log is getting filled up with all of these warnings, deprecated warnings, and you're not paying attention to them. You should probably clean that up and move to the more recent method of doing things. So let's see. So the blog post, back to the blog post. It's been quite a while since deprecating any functions. Some of them have been there since 2.1, which was probably 2015. Let's see. Everything's out here. You can go find this stuff for yourself. So we're looking for a release of 2.1. So under releases, it's going to be a while. It's going to be a lot of clicks. So let's say after 2.7. Will that work? No, that's not going to work. Next. So that starts there. Yeah, I don't think we have. This is going to be a lot of paging. So we are going back in history. There should probably be a release setting. So we're 2 years old. Is there a before setting? No, that takes us back to the beginning. So, okay, here's 3.0. 3.0 was released in 2017. Okay, here we go. So, what are we looking for? 2.1? Yeah, 2.1. Okay. 2.1. 2.1. Jeez, we're at 2015. If you wrote some code in 2015, you haven't looked at it since, you got some problems, too. Okay. See, we're not even doing releases back here. This is a while. 2.1, let's just say it's over 6 years old. So we've got some code in there that is over 6 years old. If you haven't updated since then, you need to get on your ball and update your code. Okay, so 4.4 was updated to ensure that all deprecated codes properly documented. So cool. So you're going to get these deprecated warnings in your debug log in your your code monitor, which you should be paying attention to. WooCommerce 5.0 is planned for like 5 months from now. You're going to be removing all this deprecated code. So it includes legacy classes, which is probably like this abstract WC legacy, which I mentioned. Legacy abstract order. That's this one. So that'll be removed. So yeah, here's a conversation happening like right now. Thanks for the suggestion. Work through. Okay. This is a great, and then legacy class. So in Slack, I was mentioning the API is interesting because it's the legacy API. So I wanted to see what that included. So I do believe that is this. So if you go to WooCommerce, what am I looking for? API. Commerce. It's not under admin. Why am I blanking? I just looked at this. Legacy API. So it's V1. V2, V3 API. So WooCommerce API. The versions of the REST API are a little confusing. So so there was a version 1 which came out with 2.6, and then there's a version 2 which came out with 3.0. And then before then, there was there are hey G Firehold, yep. Almost done. So a little bit of history. WooCommerce had an API before WordPress did. Before there was a WordPress API plugin, before it was pulled into core, WooCommerce had an API. So that's what this legacy V1, V2, V3 are. So when you're looking at the code under includes legacy API, there's V1, V2, V3. That's what they're talking about here. So this API has been around 2.4. We were looking at releases. 2.4 is several years ago. I really want to know what integrations are still using this API, because it's been a while, and there's better APIs possible. Okay, so that's the TLDR for this, is that these are going away. It's a good thing. It'll clean up the code base. It will help developers use the more updated stuff. Is it going to cause you to update your code? Yes. Should you have been updating your code the whole time? Yes. You should have been keeping updated with current versions. These APIs, I was concerned about these APIs going away, but these are ridiculously old. And if you hadn't updated to the REST API, then then you shouldn't. Yeah, I don't know. If you haven't updated the REST API, you should, and they're just going to force your hand because that's a lot of legacy code to keep around, and it's really not necessary to keep. So, cool. Chat, you did it with an order fee. So talking about the fee plugin with an fee, or did you do a sign up fee to charge after the trial? So we, what do you mean by an own fee? Just chat. What's own fee? So we had the, we had a separate, I used a separate fee called, I used a separate fee, and that was because, the setup fee didn't make sense. So yeah, so going away from the plugin for just a sec to talk about what we're talking about in chat. The plugin that we're working on, the post-trial fee, it has a separate fee because it didn't make sense having a one field. Man, there was a reason that it didn't make sense to having just one field for the sign-up fee. I don't remember why. I'm totally blanking. Let me wrap up this other question, and I'll go chat about that. So yeah, this is really just a short and sweet blog post. We're removing old cruft. It's a good thing. It's moving stuff forward. Looks like there's a discussion happening over here in GitHub about it. So that'll be good for going forward. So we'll close out the conversation on that. Give that the old green check. Done. Okay. So quick update on the this guy. The fee. So we have a separate fee field on the products. Let's see, with a subscription with a fee trial, with post-trial fee. Okay. Yeah, so we have a field here for the post-trial fee. And then we left the sign-up fee alone in case they wanted to use that. Because if we had a toggle, like if we turned it on to charge it after. That's right. So here we go. So if this was actually just a drop down to say like, yes, or on, it was possible to use the sign-up fee, but the WooCommerce subscriptions functionality to charge the sign-up fee on the first order would have kicked in, and I would have had to disable that if this was on. So it was just easier to add a separate field to manage the post-trial fee and not turn off WooCommerce subscriptions. So, and then because that would have just increased the amount of testing and sort of area that a problem could occur. So we're just going to let subscriptions manage the sign-up fee as is, and then just add this functionality along afterwards. So that's why. So I hope that answered your question. So yeah, the only items were left were adding the field for variable subscriptions, and then adding a notice. Really, the last pieces to the first version of this are adding the variation, the variable products setting, and then the subscription product page to have that set. These other things can be done later. So the plugins only available here on GitHub. So it's you'd have to download a version here by downloading zip, and it's usable for simple subscriptions, not variable at this point. So you can try it out on a staging site and see if it works. If you have any questions, like just come here and open an issue. Just say new issue and add stuff here, and then I can respond to you. I don't plan on putting this on .org, on WordPress.org, just because that's a whole other mess of keeping it updated. Won't be added to the plugin store. So I have my own marketplace where I sell my plugins, shop plugins. I don't sell through WooCommerce.com, and it's just a personal choice. And I have a few plugins on WordPress.org that have been there for like 7 years, a long time. So the main one is Pushover, and that has been there, and I just sort of left it there. Let me see. Yeah, so I have 4, but I'm not really a big fan of the support area. So if you go into a plugin and you click on support, not really a big fan of this method of support. I really like using I use Help Scout and sort of a ticketing system. It's much easier for doing support. And then this uses SVN, which is another source code management tool, which is ancient and not really great to use. So I have to remind myself how to use it every time I try and push a version of a plugin. So just to keep things simple, I'm just to keep stuff on my store, the premium plugins, and then anything that I'm doing like this that's sort of a free plugin, I'll just keep on GitHub. Easier to do stuff here in issues and tie it to code. It's a little limiting for people who are not familiar with GitHub, but I think it's not that challenging just to come here and download a zip and install it. So yeah, if you want to give it a try, let me know if you get any errors or whatever. Just add an issue and I'll fix it. So speaking of that, let's see. It's about halfway through the stream, so we can have. I can go ahead and finish. I'll go ahead and finish those 2 issues right now, and then we will. And then I can do a release, a 1.0 release, and you can try it out. How about that? Cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close some of these tabs. I'm going to leave this open because we're going to test with this. Okay. REST API stuff. I'll address that at the end if I have some time. I'll leave that open because that's really useful. Okay, digging through old code. Cool. So let's go ahead and fix this variable subscriptions issue. So go into PHP Storm, closing all of these orders. Let's see. We called it WooCommerce post trial fee. What is it called? Subscriptions post trial fee. Cool. All right. Okay. Pool master, just because it's a habit, even though I'm the only person working on this. Get fetch with a prune. I don't think we have any open. Yeah, there's no other open branches. So let's branch. Check out branch, and let's call it issue 1. There shouldn't only be one branch. Yeah, there's only one branch. Should be issue 1. Okay, let's go ahead and add to the variation. So we're gonna have to do 2 things. So what we did for the to add this fee to the admin for the simple subscription is, let me see, we hooked into WooCommerce WooCommerce subscriptions product options pricing. And that was for hooking into, for adding the input right here. So we have to do something similar, but we're going to trial fee to, instead of products, this first one was simple subscription products. And then we're going to do something similar. We're going to add post-trial fee to variable subscription products. And it's going to be the same thing with a different hook. So I got to go look up that hook. I'm going to close that out or comment it out so it doesn't give me any problems. So let's create a variable subscription with post-trial fee. So I'm going to click add new product. Okay, let's just call it variable. Variable subscription with post-trial fee. And this is a test product used for Twitch stream coding. Okay, so the product type is going to be variable subscription. And when we switch that, you can see all of these settings go away. Why? It's because these settings get assigned to each variation. So they're not applicable to the parent product anymore. So we change it to variable, and then we need to go add at least 2 attributes to then add those to create variations from that. So, okay, click that, and I'm going to add an attribute. What should we call it? Let's call the attribute like a type of plan. And let's call it personal business enterprise. Okay. Separate these with a pipe. These are visible and then used for variations. So I save these attributes, and this will make it possible to create variations off this. So this is a custom product attribute. So this attribute's only tied to this product. If I wanted to create a global attribute like color, I go to product attributes, and this is at a global level. There's a color attribute that can be used to create variations. So blue, green, red. So, but we're not doing that right now. No need. So, okay, we have our plan, which is personal, business, or enterprise. Click on variations. And then once we have an attribute to vary for this product, I just click on create variations and then go. And it says, hey, this could take a while. Are you cool with that? And I say, yes, I'm cool with that. And then it says 3 variations added. Okay, so here are 3 variations. If I hit expand on all 3 of them, then you'll see here are the fields that were once under the the general tab for the parent product. Now we have it for each one. And it's really squished in there. I really want some, it's really hard to find stuff here, especially when you have to scroll so much. So we are looking for the sign up fee. Okay, so the sign up fee is added by the subscriptions plugin. So you're not going to see this on a regular variable product. You're only going to see it on subscription products, which makes sense, right? So we need to find the hook that will add our post trial fee field under here. So let me find that. And I was copying one of my other plugins, subscription schedule, because that has a similar thing. So the code's right here. Includes admin product settings. So for the other plugin, the other field, we're using product options pricing. So there's probably something similar. A variable subscription pricing. Okay, so that's the hook we're looking for. And let's just quickly go take a look at that in subscriptions. Just so you know where it's at. So here's the do action. It's in the subscriptions admin. So this is in a method of variable subscription pricing fields. So output the subscription specific pricing fields on the edit product admin page. So this is where we're at. We're on edit product. Well, it's add new because I haven't hit save, but same difference. Edit product. This outputs a template for HTML variation price, and then it adds an action afterwards. So like we did before with the other one, let's just throw something out there to make sure we're in the right place. So I'm going to uncomment this out, add this other hook, WooCommerce variable subscription pricing, and then change this really ugly function name. So I'm just going to have the prefix GDCWC and then add the hook name after that. Cool. So this is this will run after that template file. And let's minimize this. Okay, so let's add this function right afterwards. Function GDCWC. Oh, no, I already had it in there. GDCWC WooCommerce variable subscription pricing. I don't know what it's giving us. Let's check. It is giving us a loop, variation data, and the variation. So I'll copy those over. So we're getting 3 parameters. And then I'm going to create a PHP doc and let PHP Storm fill in the parameters. What the heck is loop? What is loop? Loop is... See, their PHP doc doesn't even tell me what loop is. What is loop? I don't know. We just won't touch it. How about that? So it gives us the variation data and the variation. So the variation will be tied to, it'll be product with ID 1929 or 1925 or 1926. Let me just save this super quick. Expand. Let me fill in some of this data. So we're going to call it a virtual product. So we don't need any shipping. I need a regular price, subscription price. So let's do $35 every month, no sign up fee. And that should be enough. Same for this business. So personal's $35. Let's say business is $95. And we're going to be, this one's going to be virtual also. And then let's give it a SKU. Business, personal, and then enterprise for all the monies. Okay, this one's going to be like $199. because enterprise stuff is overpriced. Okay, virtual. And yeah, we're going to save these changes. So that'll save to the variable, the variations products. And then I'm going to just go ahead and publish this whole thing. Great. And so if I look at the product on the front end, I should have a product with 3 options. Cool. Personal, 35. Business is 95. Enterprise, 199. Great. Let's open up that variations tab again and see where we're at. Okay, so back to the code. I have a function that should be called at the bottom of this variation section. So I'm just going to do echo h1 howdy, just to make sure we're in the right place. Okay, my plugin is already active, so once this finishes whatever it is it's doing, enterprisey stuff is overpriced, man. It is. Okay. Wow, this is taking a while. All right, are we getting an error? What's going on? Let's refresh the page. It might not have liked my typing in a live plugin. Console. Okay, variations. Yeah, it's dying. Okay. Let's tail that debug log. Can I increase the size? Yes. Okay. Where are we at? Sites. WC33. Yeah, you can tell this local site was created with WooCommerce version 3.3. That's how old it is. At public. To be content. Okay. Fatal error, argument count. Too few arguments. Ha, okay. So we got a problem here. This is expecting yeah, so on this add action, it defaults to 1, and I should have put 3. But let's make sure I got that right. Subscription pricing, because this call before it doesn't have do action. No, there's 3. Let's see how I got that wrong. Let's give that a refresh. And it's triggered with clicking on variations. Okay, yeah, that was it. So I fixed the number of arguments, open up this variation, and there's our howdy. So that's ugly. It's in the wrong place. I would rather this be up near the top. So let's look at that. Okay, so this do action is here at the end of all of this, and the template is here. Let's see if we can get a higher priority. Or is there another action? No, there's no other do action. I want to get right in here between the sign up fee and then the subscription price. So let's see. We are looking for templates. Admin. Will you take me there? No, you can't. Fine. Okay, subscriptions, templates, admin, HTML variation price. Okay. I doubt there's a do action in here. There's not. Okay, so that's not going to work, right? We can't put it up there. Is sign up fee the first one? Yeah, it is. Okay. Maybe right before it? Where's this called? Nope. WooCommerce product after variable attributes. So this is called there with a priority of 10. So we could come in right before that. Let's try that. So let's change this to be, okay, we're going to use the same method, but just a different hook. And then this is hooking in at 10. So it's hooking at 8 or just 9. And that should move, let me refresh. That should move our howdy up before sign up fee. And I might like that better. Because it doesn't make sense to be away from the sign up fee. I guess it does. Whatever. No. It only moved with it. How? That doesn't make sense. Product after variable attributes. That didn't make sense at all. From the chat, what is loop? Note the loop parameter is used to keep track of which variable is being displayed. Function is hooked to the WooCommerce variation subscription pricing action. Huh. That's good to know. Thank you. That makes sense. So if we paused it, loop would probably be the ID, like 1924 or 1925. Cool, that's good to know, which makes sense. They're looping through all the variations, displaying each one. So they're calling the same code multiple times. Okay, so I didn't expect this. I expected this to be up here. So what happens if we change that hook to 2? Thinking it's probably going to be in the same place. Yeah, so this is still being called in a different place. Subscriptions, bulk edit save. No, okay. After variable, so there might be a before. After variable attributes. Variable product bulk edit actions. Add bulk edit actions. No. This is the one we're using. Let's see if there's a before, which I'm still not sure why. I'm still not sure if we're hooking it in a lower priority. We're not getting before that. We're not getting in before that. It doesn't make sense. But let's see if there's a WooCommerce product before variable attributes. So instead of looking it up, I'm just going to try it out. How about that? Before. YOLO. Let's see if it breaks. It wouldn't break until I click on the variations. Or it wouldn't show. Yeah, it doesn't show. So that doesn't exist. WooCommerce. Let's see. Let's find after. See, there's after. And there's no before. HTML variation admin. So there's an action here. There's an action variation options download. We don't have download because it's not a downloadable product. Let's find another action. Options dimensions. Do we have dimensions? So we were down here. Let's just go to the top. Variations. Variation header. That's inside of an H3, so that's not what we want. It's not going to look good. Variation options. Okay. Let's try that one. This is just to move it up. Like, I'm fine with where it was. It's just seemed weird to be out down here at the bottom. Okay, variations. And yeah, there we're at the top. Much better. Let's leave it there. Okay, so just like add post trial fee to variable subscription products is what we're doing. Let's change the method name just to stay consistent. So keep that ugly prefix and then change the rest. Copy and then paste this here. Okay, we're gonna get different. Okay, no, we're still getting the loop. That's good. Loop, variation, data, and variation. Good. Okay, now we need to do like what we did previously, which is up here. I think I minimized it. Yeah, I did. And just output this. But we need to make it use that loop. So thank you for pointing out what the loop's used for. Because we need to keep track of which variation we're using. Let me go check that other plugin. See how I was doing it. Subscriptions. Schedule. Product settings. So loop. Yeah. The loop gets added to the label, and then the loop gets added to the variation ID, and then when it's saved, it gets saved altogether. Okay, let's give that a try. So loop input. So the ID is going to be subscription post trial fee with the loop at the end. Is that ugly? Okay. Class label post file trial fee. Let's see how that looks. Okay. So variations. Expand. Okay, so we got a post trial fee. Tooltips there optionally include amount. It doesn't look like the sign up fee. I don't know why sign up fee was 0. Maybe I typed that, or maybe it's a default. Okay. And then this should have something on the end of it. The ID is 0. Oh, so no, there's not on the end of it. It's not the variable products ID. Okay. So business should be 1. Okay. Okay. So we got to figure out which variation we're dealing with when we save it. So that's added there. Save post, we'll call this meta. So we have our to do, adding a nonce, validate. This is a float. Variable subscription schedule ID. So actually, no, it comes back if you have multiple of the same ID, it comes back as an array. So That's why I think this code is here. So if request variable subscription schedule ID, let's go ahead and change that name. Variable subscription. Let's just add variable to the front of this one. Variable subscription post trial fee. And then remove this because we don't need it there. We need it to be a array. So variation label ID, variable ID. Yeah, name is this, and then with the square brackets. Huh. So how is that set through this helper function? Text input type, data type price. That may be not possible through this helper function, but surely. Custom attribute handling. So if it's a custom attribute, yeah, how are you doing name? Oh, it's text input. No, that should, okay. Class style, wrapper class, value, name. Okay, I can set the name. So if there's no name, which I wasn't sending, it just sets the name to ID. Okay, so I need a name. Remove this, or I can just leave that there actually. Name is gonna be this, and then add the brackets. Cool, that should work. Cool. Let's save that. So when the save happens, we are looking for subscription post trial fee. And then something doesn't like my formatting here. What's up? Yellow snakes processing form data without. Yes, I know. I got it to do. Okay, so post trial fee. So we save it to the post, which will be the parent's post ID, and then let's see how that saves without having to look at this. Okay, or maybe I'll look at it. So yeah, so here it gets it, box schedule. And this uses the loop to find it. Okay. And then when we display it, let's see if it saves it. So save that, open up our debug, and then just do a quick refresh. So this should be saving 3 to the database under the variable meta name. 3 of these. Okay, so post trial fee. Let's just say $5 personal, $20 business, and then enterprise gets stuck with $200. All right, update. Let's see if that remembers coming back. It's probably not going to because I didn't add any code for that. Yeah, it's not there. Let's check the database. See if it's saved. All right. We are looking for variable subscription post trial fee on ID 1923. So select star from. We're looking in post meta, where post ID equals 1923. And then we're going to order by meta key ascending to keep everything alphabetical order. What did I do wrong? Post, no, not high T. We're not looking in the posts table, so we need this to be post ID. Okay, so we're looking for variable subscription post. So it got saved. So for 0, it's 5, 1, it's 20, and 3. So that ID got saved. So yeah, so here's the 0 on the ID, and then the name has it in the parentheses. So it's getting saved. It's just not getting pulled in here. So yeah, thank you so much. So this loop tells us which one to pull. So we need the value, right? And let's see, value, we need to send the value. So that's another field. Let's just add it down here. Value, dot, dot, space, 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 equals, and we need to get the fees of get post meta from post ID this meta, and we want single true. So then for the value, we're going to feed it fees, and this is just going to be an array loop. Okay, so that should, when it goes through each 3 times, it'll pull from this array right here, the saved fee. And quick refresh. And I probably typed something wrong. Oh, that's very large. Class name, valid object or string. What did I do wrong? Yeah. Sorry about that. That's a comma because this is an array. It's not a semicolon. And squiggly line, what do you not like? Array keys must be surrounded by spaces. There you go. Okay, refresh that page. And then refresh this page. Let's see if it reloads. It does. Okay. Variations. There's our fee. Business 20. Enterprise 200. Cool. Let's change this to 15. Just make sure save's working okay. Update. And we'll refresh this too, just to make sure it saves. All right, there's 15. Variations. Personal is 15. Sweet. Okay, so we have the post trial fee for the simple subscriptions and the variable. So I think we've finished add field for variable subscriptions, add save for variable subscriptions. So we can check this in. So get diff, and that should just be what we added. Is there anything to clean up? I mean, other than the to-dos, which I know, it's another issue. We added this variation options. Oh, it's added like what we're doing. Add post trial fee field to simple. To variable. Okay. And then we commented these save post trial fee for simple and variable subscriptions. All right, let's check this in. So say fix number 1, add variable, post trial fee. All right. Oh, this line, end of line thing's gonna kill me. Okay. Push net origin issue 1. We'll create pull request, approve the pull request because we basically just reviewed it, and then merge it. This fix 1 will auto close that issue once we merge it. All right, and we can delete that branch. And this is auto close based on that, so we're good. Checking the issues here. Okay. Let's test it out. Okay, no, it's not going to work because we actually need to add the code here. Check out subscription created. Okay, so here we check post-trial fee. And this is the single post-trial fee. So figure out multiple products have post-trial fee. We also have to, I absolutely have a Texas flag because I'm in Texas and we put everything, our flag on everything. I don't know. I don't know where I got this. I think I just randomly got it at the grocery store. Okay. So this is it's not actually gonna charge because we're not testing here when the subscription's created, and we're not going to add the fee here. So for each item, so we're checking. Actually, this is gonna check the item. Okay, here's a problem. When we loop through the products in the order, we know the parent ID, in this case 1923, and then we can figure out what the what variations chosen in the order, but that's going to tie to this 1924 ID. There's nothing in our meta that points to from this product ID 1924 to one of these fees, because this is a loop variable. It's not a product ID or a variation ID. So, and I'm not sure if that's saved in the cart. So that's a bit of a mess. So when we're saving and pulling it back out, so loop is just going to give us, it's not going to give us a variation ID. Yeah, no, we got here, variation data. Why don't we save the variation ID? Let's switch that up. So then we can just pull, from the order, we can pull the variation ID and then pull it by that. Okay. So backing up, let's go branch out again. Check out master, get pull to get that branch we just merged in. Pull master. And then get prune, and I'll delete that branch. Okay, so let's just branch. Checkout B, get checkout B, a branch to do. I don't own a horse. It's totally a stereotype. But I wish I did. That'd be fun. Closest thing I get to a Texas stereotype is this. And I eat barbecue. I don't know. I don't have a horse or a big cowboy hat. And I don't have any guns. No weapons. That's definitely not me. So I'm anti-Texas stereotype. So we're going to check out a branch to, let's just name it. I don't want to tie it to an issue. Save dash variation ID. Let's see. So instead of using loop, let's use variation ID. So I'm going to do some xdebug here. So I want to see what's in this variation data. Actually, for variation, it should have the ID tied to it. Nope, definitely not Texas Ranger. Okay. Let's see. We need to refresh this. And I'm using my handy dandy debug plugin. So when I refresh this, it should pause. Cool. I was doing some coding yesterday and I had another breakpoint set. Let's just leave that. Turn that off. I was pulling out some states from the list of checkout. So, okay, so my breakpoint did not get picked up. Oh, because I got to press the variations. So click on variations and breakpoint got hit. Okay, so variation. So loop is 0, so we're going through the personal variation. Variation is a post. So there you go. So this is variation ID. We can save with that. So cool. Let's I would take a screenshot of this just so I can remember. So I don't have to go back and get the debugger out again. So 2, 3, there, it's gone. So we have variation. We can say that is a WC product variable. No, variation. Yeah, that's right. Well, let me check. So my screenshot. No, I mean it's a WP post, which it's a CPT of variation. So okay. Anyways, oh yeah, no worries. It's fine. I don't care about off topic. It makes it more fun, right? Where are you in Germany? If you don't mind me asking. While I switch this to variation ID. Get ID. Yeah, that'll work. Let's see. Variation ID. Okay, so instead of using loop, which would be great, but we need to reference this later. Oh, yeah. Where are you located in Germany? I hung out in Berlin for a while, a couple years ago. Enjoyed it a lot. But maybe not indicative of, maybe not the same as the rest of Germany. Okay, so I resaved this. When I refresh this, since our database is keyed off of loop instead of ID, this is going to go away. So I'm actually just going to delete this. Delete. Okay, West Germany. Cool. So when I refresh this, all the fees are gone, but it should be now keyed off of the post ID, the variable post ID. My debug's still there. Turn that off. And is there any errors? Yeah. Undefined method get ID. It's a variation. Maybe it isn't. Product variation. Product simple. Yeah. has get ID. It should be fine. Undefined method post get ID. So it did not like, and we're on line 78. Yeah, here. Variation get ID. So that's why this died. Okay, let's turn debug back on and refresh and make sure I'm not crazy, which I might be. Okay, so we refresh that. Let's wait for xdebug to pick up. I love that they have like old school telephone here. It's like, hello, picking up this call. Click on variations. That should pull up all the variations and cause this code to be executed. Okay. So we are trying to check variation. So variation get ID. Cannot evaluate. Did you throw the same thing? No. Okay. Well, what is variation? It's a post. Can I just say variation ID? Which kind of makes me feel ugly. I mean, ID works, but fine, we'll just use it. I was trying to use the method, just future-proof it, or I guess it is a post and it's not actually a product variation. Okay. So this dies, and we let it die because we know it's broken. So we'll switch this to ID. And then my squigglies are going to come back because they're going to complain about magic method. Yeah, whatever. So WP post. And then change this one. Okay, let's just let it fly. No debug. Turn it off. Just see if anything gets dumped in here. Refresh. Okay. And then open variations. Ooh. What didn't you like? Uninitialized string offset on 89. Oh, it's not set. Ha. Okay, that's okay. We can fix that. Cool. So we're back. So this doesn't exist. So we have to set a ternary. Is that what they're called? If fees is set fees variation, then use it. If not, use 0. What did I do wrong? Closing bracket issue right here. All right, that's clean. Let's just redo this. Reload. Reloaded. Okay. And then variations. Much better. So, okay, this is post trial fee 0. So it's 0 and not blank. I prefer blank. Just because I want that placeholder text to show up like that. So let's refresh and see if I broke anything. And then I'm just going to redo this query. It broke my query. Okay. Yeah, so that loaded fine. Well, no. Let's see. Okay, that loaded fine. And then there's the placeholder text. Okay, so we're at what? 20 business, 90 enterprise, 200 update. that should, oh, did we need to check on the save? No, it's just going to save everything. Yes. So that's good. Good. Okay, let's check. Select everything from WP post meta, where post ID equals, what are we working with? 1923. Order meta key ascending. Okay, cool. So now we have post trial fee with the IDs. So now we need to check if that ID is in the order, and then we add the fee. Brilliant. Okay. So maybe add fee. This is going to go through each one and see if it has a, nope, sorry. Before that, subscription created. This is going to go through each item and see if it has a post-trial fee. This is for simple products. Okay. Check simple subscriptions. Do we have a subscription type? Subscription get type? What does that get? No, it's I need to know if it's variation. Get we know if it's a single or variation. Get order notes, IP address, date, discount. Oh, derp. I'm looking at the subscription. I'm not looking at the item. Item get type. This is an order item. Oh God, order items are kind of a pain to work with. Okay. So I'm running out of time, and I have to finish this on the next stream. It's super close. So what we're gonna have to do is here check variable subscription. So I'm gonna have to get the product ID like here, and then see if it's a variation, if it's a variable subscription. So get product ID, if variable subscription. Actually, that needs to go up here. If variable subscription, check variations. Else is simple. And then just do what we're doing. Yeah. So which tasks are left after the variations? So pretty much that's it. This will close out. Oh, really, this is just description. So when you look at it here, this needs to say, this needs to say, with a $20 something like that. Oh, that looks terrible. That's not part of the edit. I did that incorrectly. with a $20 post trial fee, just so that the customers know what they're buying into. Delete. So, just so, yeah, like subscriptions adds this in here, in the display, so customers know what they're going to be charged, or else they'll get really upset. There's a function, there's a class in here that's super long, to figure out how to display this. Let's see. It's not switcher from. With a. I'm trying to find it by the string. It's going to take me forever. I'll find it and then leave it in the notes so I can remind myself next time. It is a class where it just figures out where to put this. What is this text called? Price amount. So it is when subscriptions gets a price. Yeah, I didn't think it would get that. Yeah, it's might be a details thing. It's like get price or something. Get price HTML. Get price string. Here it is. Yeah, it's okay. Good. Get price string returns a string representing the details of the subscription. For example, $20 a month for 3 months with a $10 sign-up fee. So, this is what? Subscription product. So, let's add that to here. So, issues, subscription product page, which is where I was. Edit. So, look at subscription product. I'm on the wrong thing. Subscription product, get price. String. Okay, so this is whenever subscriptions wants to display a price, it's going to, like here, it's going to call this method, and it takes the product and then a bunch of crap, and then it checks, okay, does it have, here's the base price. Does it have a sign-up fee? What's the frequency? What's the duration? And so, like, this is a good example that you need to add sign-up fee. Let's see if there's any place to hook in. There should be a filter somewhere. Yeah, so subscription product price string. Just throw this here for fixing this later. Okay, so we'll check on that next stream. So that's what we're gonna want to filter so that this shows up correctly. Cool. Awesome. I don't think there were any other questions. Checking. I did not see any other questions. The question related to the API we'll just do later. Like, this is where I was testing. I was using Postman to go against this site to pull a list of subscriptions. And when I send that, I get a list of subscriptions coming back. once it finishes loading. So like here's 1921, 1918, 1912, and that should be the same as subscriptions list here. (1921, 1918, 1912). So I'll have to go into that later on to what that person asked, and so we'll figure that out. Okay, that's it for today. Hey, thanks for joining G Firehold. I really appreciate your interaction and figuring out some code for me and chatting while we're on stream. That's been great. So I will be back on Monday, and we'll continue, hopefully finish out this plugin, and that'll be it. Thanks a lot.